Yes, shalom everyone. I'm Amir Tsarfati, and I'm live from my basically basement. We had to find a solution because at Connect, the distance between where we broadcast and the bomb shelter was too long, and it didn't give us enough time to run in light of the new development as Hezbollah now entered back into the scene, and we only have 60 seconds to make it to our bomb shelters. I mean, if a rocket or if a missile flies from Iran, we have minutes. We have 6 to 8 minutes. We have early warning. We can easily make our way towards the bomb shelter. When you have only 60 seconds and then the explosion happens, you better be right next to the bomb shelter or the secured area. Anyway, breaking news tomorrow, by the way, I will hold the Middies and Beyond that we couldn't do yesterday. I will hold it here from my basement together with Barry Stagner in California. Tomorrow we will break down everything. What happened, how it started, how it is going, who is fighting against all of that. This is going to be a super comprehensive Mideast and Beyond. Tomorrow, you really want to watch it. But today, something huge happened. You know, it's hard to believe that less than a week ago, we were still, uh, in a way, dragging our feet everywhere. And it was obvious to Israel, obvious to Netanyahu, that Iran is the problem. And the minute you attack and topple that piece, everything else will fall down. And what holds together this axis of evil is the head of that snake. And so 5 days into the war right now, in actually 6 days into the war right now, and actually the Iranian regime, the Islamic Republic regime, is weaker than ever. And now, look what happens. They understand that their time is over, and they are using the proxies that they, for the past 30 years, were building, funding, training, and also arming. And they told Hezbollah, we don't care how desperate you are. For such a time as this, you were created. You have to do your part. Hezbollah 3 days ago fired a few rockets into Israel, announced 2 days ago that they are now officially in the war. And the big news is Israel kind of anticipated that, and we decided to go all in. Now, we're going to have some hard days. In fact, we may already have a hard incident. It's under censorship, which I cannot, talk about at this point. But I will tell you that a couple hours ago, the Israeli spokesperson of the IDF announced an evacuation order to not only the entire southern part of Lebanon, to move beyond the Litani River, but for the first time in any war, Israel is warning the entire, I would say, stronghold of Hezbollah in Beirut, the Dahye neighborhood, the southern suburb of Beirut, to evacuate. All in all, 400,000 people are asked to evacuate all the way up to the north. 70% of the Shiite Muslims in Lebanon are actually leaving their homes. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure if they will have any homes to get back to. Look, for the longest time, Israel asked Hezbollah to disarm. Lebanon asked Hezbollah to disarm. But not only that they did not, but they entrenched themselves in the local Shiite communities, and the Shiite communities harbored them and sheltered them and served as their human shields. Their time is over. And now Israel is going to flatten southern Lebanon, enlarge its security belt, and flatten the stronghold of Hezbollah in Beirut. And once we're done with that, we'll probably move to the eastern part of Lebanon, to Baalbek and to the Bekaa Valley, where they have their biggest missiles and drones depots and storages, and that's where they really operate from. So, folks, this is more or less. Let me show you. Let's see. Look, I'm operating this whole thing by myself. I don't have a team. I'm all by myself in the basement. I'm 5 feet away from my bomb shelter. So, excuse me, it's not exactly the most techy thing, but this is what happened right now. Israel is telling the people of southern Lebanon, evacuate beyond the Litani River and go, because we're about to flatten that area. And then to the southern suburbs of Beirut, go to the north, go to the east, because we're going to flatten that suburb. And you have to understand, this is not because we want this is not because we want to flatten things. We want to hurt and harm where they hide. And they store under those buildings weapons, they manufacture under those building weapons, and they hide in those buildings. And so what we are about to do is literally leave Hezbollah nothing, nowhere to hide weapons, and nowhere to manufacture it and store it. Now, in an amazing development, just so you know, in an amazing development, okay, let me see if I can get back on the screen. Yeah, in an amazing development, the Lebanese Prime Minister announced today, while we are issuing the evacuation orders, he issued an interesting decree that every Hezbollah member will be arrested, that Hezbollah's activity is illegal. Iranians are no longer allowed in Lebanon without visa, and basically cleaning Lebanon from all this activity. You have to understand something. Hezbollah is a terror base. It's an arm of the IRGC that is not looking, after Lebanon. They're looking after Iran. The Lebanese finally got back to their homes, finally decided to restore their lives following the war. And what happens right now is because Hezbollah decided saving Iran is more important than standing with Lebanon. And by the way, I'm not saying that. The Lebanese are saying that. The Lebanese government is saying that. Now, following the evacuation order, take a look. Chaos. That's not enough. We're talking about
شوفوا شو صار بقصص.
all across.
شوفوا شو صار بقصص.
If that's not enough, we're talking
يا
about
الله يا الله يا
bombing
الله
of Hezbollah assets.
يا الله يا الله يا الله.
More tragic than we see also again in southern Lebanon. What should take an hour from south to Beirut is now taking 5 to 6 hours. And basically, we're talking about something pretty significant. So now let me see if I can get back to you. Yeah. So folks, Israel for the first time ever is warning the Shiite community of southern Lebanon, leave, because within a few hours we are going to strike forcefully. Now, but I'm going to talk about Iran tomorrow with Barry. We're going to talk about everything because Iran is shooting everywhere. They're shooting at Azerbaijan and Turkey and Cyprus. They're shooting at Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Oman. They lost it completely. And we'll talk about everything tomorrow, but I just want you to understand that now Iran understands that the only thing left for them is their proxies, and their proxies are demanded to do something. And I'm not going to be surprised if the Houthis will start launching rockets and missiles in the next few hours, because that's what these proxies were created for, to be a buffer and to protect the mothership, Iran itself, the Islamic Republic of Iran. So, breaking news: 400,000 Lebanese are called to evacuate southern Lebanon and the southern district of Beirut. 70% of the Shia population of Lebanon is actually going to become homeless. Somebody said, "Oh, you're committing another genocide." No, genocide, you morons, is not when you warn the people to evacuate. Okay? So when we warn them, it means we don't want to hurt the civilians. We want them out so we can hurt the terrorists. That's not a genocide. That's a war. A war, by the way, that they waged on us. Up until 3 days ago, Israel was not even looking at Lebanon. We were all focused on Iran. But now, guess what? We order all of our pilots that as they come back from their flyover in Iran, visit Lebanon, drop your bombs on Hezbollah, and then return. We're using the same sortie, the same planes, and extra bombs that they carry to also complete the circle, come through Lebanon, drop their bombs, and come back. Big news. All of the Dahiyeh in Beirut and all of southern Lebanon are called to evacuate. We already began to do what we call knock on the roof, empty shell missiles that we hit the roofs of buildings in order to get the people out. That's not genocide. This is stupidity, if you ask me, but we are doing that because we don't want to hurt civilians. Okay? Okay, no other army does that. And yet they call us, genociders and all of that. All of that, it's because they don't know what to do. We're winning, they're losing, so they have to put all these false accusations. But in reality, those traffic jams that you see is because we warn them to leave. It's because we, unlike Hezbollah, we do care about their lives. Hezbollah is entrenching itself among them, so once we attack, they will die. So they are the ones that don't care about the lives of their brothers and sisters and their children. We do care. We told them leave. So once we attack, it's only going to be the terrorists that are there and their weapons that are that they're storing there. Big development. Huge, huge, huge. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Israel time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, California time, Mideast and beyond. It will be super important. I'll tell you all the behind the scenes stories of how it all started, what happened in the first 30 seconds of the war, and eventually, of course, how it's going right now, and we'll of course tie it to the Bible because that's what it's all about. I'll also talk to you about which prophecy I believe is being fulfilled before our very eyes, and I will also tell you which one I don't think we're watching. So stay tuned tomorrow. Until then, these are breaking news. Do me a favor, share them with as many as you can. Keep following me on Telegram. I'm updating 24/7. Look, to be honest with you, I slept in the last 6 days something between 2 to 3 hours a day. Now I know it's not good, but look, I have sirens. We have to run to the bomb shelter multiple times at night. And I also live next to the northernmost airbase of the Israeli Air Force, so the takeoffs and the landings are very significant. It's not like a regular day. So, but again, this is music to my ear when it comes to takeoffs and landings. I don't mind that. We'll have enough time to sleep when we fall asleep. But until then, follow me on Telegram. You've got the Telegram QR code on the side of the screen right now, and follow me there. And we just launched, by the way, a website where you can support the IDF. It's on Telegram and on social media, that link to that landing site where you can actually take those photos of the Israeli Air Force fighter jets on their way to Iran, put them on your screen or as a screensaver, and then take a photo of it and send it to us. It's a giveaway that we're going to give to have eventually somebody's going to win a box full of my books. Now let me see if I hear some booms. Right, so we're okay now. Look, there's so much that is happening now, but I will reserve everything about Iran and its surrounding to tomorrow's update. Tune in tomorrow. Thank you and God bless.